Good morning. Please stand with your community, and if you wish, join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And here's Charlie with the announcements.
Good morning, everyone. Today is Thursday, March 19th, and it is a white day. We haven't had chapel in a while, and to make up for that, we have 2 pages of announcements, so buckle up. Starting off strong, tomorrow will be a variety day to benefit the junior class. The cost is $1. Thank you from the class of 2027. The library will now be closing at 4 p.m. each day until further notice. Please plan accordingly. Reminder for seniors, today is Senior Giving Day. Please give your donation to your advisor during chapel this morning and fill out the tracking sheet. All of your donations will go to your senior class fund, and if 80% of you donate at least $1 or more, the alumni office will donate $500 into your class funds, thanks to a generous alum. You can do this. Although the snow is gone, it is important that everyone stay on the sidewalks and not cut across the lawns, especially as the new grass starts to grow. It is also important that you stay on the crosswalk until you get to the opposite side of the road. Help us keep you safe and keep our campus something we are proud of. Student government will meet in floor basement today immediately after school. Please see Mr. Ryan or me with any questions. The trip to Quebec City is completely full. If you have the paperwork in process, please see Chef Hale to get your name on the waiting list. Thanks very much. Don't forget our 3v3 basketball tournament is happening tomorrow after school in the alumni gym. Teams of 3 to 5 players can enter for just $10 per team. Make sure your team is ready. Sign up in Student Life and get ready to play. Alpine skiers, a reminder that your end of season banquet is tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. in the Streeter Function Room. See you then. Attention poetry lovers, Writer's Block will be hosting 2 trips to Sanborn Library, the beautiful English department library at Dartmouth College, to help celebrate National Poetry Month. On April 2nd, we will hear a reading by poet Jennifer Chang, and on April 15th, we will attend the annual You Come to Robert Frost Poetry Celebration hosted by Crossroads Academy and Dartmouth College. For both trips, we will depart at 2:45 p.m. and return no later than 8 p.m. We will get pizza in Hanover before heading back. Please see Mrs. McKenzie and Ranger 110 with any questions or to pick up a permission slip. Spots are limited, so please stop by soon. A friendly reminder for everyone interested in girls volleyball this fall or just want to try volleyball at the competitive level, we'll have open gym this Saturday morning from 8 to 10 a.m. All are welcome. If you have any questions, please see Coach Gary at the Morris Mavis. Are you interested in working at Kiwanis Pool this summer? If so, please see Ms. Moran's in Colby 206 to pick up an application. Returning employees must also submit an application. Applications must be picked up in person. They will not be emailed. Happy birthday today to Luke Walton, Malachi Measle, Josephine Noyer, and Anthu Dwan. Happy birthday, everyone. Yay! And that's it. Have a good day. I'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you, Charlie. So we've saved up a lot of announcements over the last week and a half, so we have a lot of announcements today. The Division I All-Metro Awards for girls basketball have been announced, and here they are. Brianna Bunnell, first team All-Metro. Anna Ebert, second team All-Metro. Addie Ely and Amelia Rossiter earned honorable mention. Congratulations, girls. That's great. Congratulations to MJ Kissinger, who took first place in the free ride competition this past weekend at Jay Peak. MJ is now locked into 7th place in all of North and South America for the U19 female free ride snowboarders this season, and has secured an invite to the Junior Free Ride Championships in British Columbia in April. Congratulations, MJ, on this incredible accomplishment. Amazing. The student versus staff bowling matchup occurred on Tuesday, the 17th, and here are the results. Connor Simons led the field with a 210 in his individual game. In the team matchup, the staff team went up 1 game with a thrilling 122-119 victory, but the students stormed back, taking the second and third games comfortably. Congratulations to the bowling team. So good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday. Welcome back to the world of normal length classes and 8 a.m. starts for everyone. So I know I've missed starting the day this way with all of you, and I'm glad we're back here grounded in this tradition. I have a couple of mundane things to ask of you this morning before bringing up a winning team and having a special guest to speak about Women's History Month, which it has been now for a few weeks. A few notes on conduct, how we conduct ourselves here at school. It's the first day of spring tomorrow, and also the Muslim holiday Eid al-Fitr, which celebrates the end of fasting. And it's a good moment for a new beginning, so I want to remind you of a few things that will help us all be in better fettle as we start spring. First, please sit up and look up. There's a reason that we suggest that you keep your chin up, because lifting your chin actually has an effect on how you see the world and the world sees you. So please, take this opportunity to sit up and look up. Now please take a moment to assess your readiness for a day of school at St. Johnsbury Academy. Are you in dress code? That is, do you have an actual shirt under your hoodie? Do you have an actual mustache? Is your hair green, or is it interfering with your view of the world? Are you wearing a hat? If you have a t-shirt and not a dress shirt under that hoodie, you need to get a shirt on. And if you don't have one, Student Life will happily help you. Remember that hoodie is supposed to be outerwear, so take it off when you're indoors. And if you need a jacket to keep you warm outside, you can again get that from Student Life. If you have facial hair, mustache, beard, please head to Tinker and get a razor and shave. If your hair is not a naturally occurring color in humans or is draped over your eyes, please fix that problem as soon as possible. If you're wearing a hat, I know you all know this, we do not wear hats inside. Please remember to remove it. So let's start the spring season strong by taking pride in participating in a culture that respects you enough to insist that you dress for the endeavor, except tomorrow, which is a variety day. Thank you for that. Now, please welcome the Nordic ski team to the stage to celebrate their accomplishments, Nordic skiing.
Hi, I'm Anya.
I'm Tilly.
I'm Stella.
I'm Phoebe.
I'm Amelie.
I'm Lila.
I'm Kate. I'm Alice.
And we're the Nordic ski team, the girls' Nordic ski team. So recently we just finished our championship season. Our girls' team had a really strong finish at the state meet, despite facing a lot of illness and injury over the course of the season. We placed second in D1, which is equaling our best finish in program history, which was actually with this same team last year. So that's kind of exciting. And we had strong showings from all of our skiers. So we have 2 state meets, kind of. So in the skate meet at Reichert, we had 2 in the top 10 in Division I, with Tilly in 3rd and Anya in 5th, and Amelie and Phoebe rounded out the scoring in 20th and 21st, respectively. Nope, Amelie, yeah. Our skate relay team, consisting of Anya, Amelie, Phoebe, and Tilly, finished 2nd in Division I, and 2nd overall, beating the 3rd place Division I team by almost a minute, which is quite exciting. In the skate meet at Craftsbury, Tilly and Anya finished top 10 in Division I, once again with Tilly in 3rd and Anya in 4th. Phoebe and Amelie rounded out the scoring in 21st and 22nd, respectively. Our classic relay team finished 2nd in D1 once again, and this was more than enough to cement us for 2nd in Division I, like overall. To shout out all of the St. J. Nordic athletes who qualified for postseason championships to represent the Academy in the state of Vermont. Tilly Lang, Anya Moriarty, Sam Martin, Stella Vanderlyn, and Graham Moriarty all represented the Academy and the state of Vermont at the Eastern High School Championship, and Stella Vanderlyn, Emily Pratt, and Cyrus Kidder all represented us at the U16 Championship. So we have like a trophy thing?
You have a trophy? Do you have a trophy
For the school.
Thank you
it's
so
kind of a plaque.
much. All right, I'm going to go in the middle of all of you. Congratulations. Let's give it up one more time for the girls Nordic team. Nice work, guys. All right. And now, to talk about Women's History Month, please welcome Social Studies faculty member Callahan Beck.
Okay, good morning. It feels very fitting. I feel like this morning we just heard about some really awesome accomplishments by our female athletes. Actually, can you give them another round of applause? MJ, all of them, it's incredible. So I'm here today to talk about Women's History Month, which happens in March. And I've done this the past few years. And this year, I don't know, it feels a little more important than it has in the past few years I've done it. I think there's a lot of stuff out there that I kind of want to counter today a little bit. So I kind of want to start with why we have Women's History Month. We have Women's History Month because we live in a patriarchal society, which I'm sure you've heard the word patriarchy or patriarchal. It literally means father and rule. So we live in a society where not only are men predominantly our leaders, but men are also the standard that everyone is kind of held to. Their needs are usually put first, and they are kind of the center that everyone works around. And this can be in more obvious ways, right? Like, we have never had a female president. Our money is covered in the faces of men. We credit our country and its founding to our founding fathers. It can also be a little more subtle and less noticed. The other day I took my sociology class around campus, and we counted the amount of portraits that were of men and that of women, buildings that are mostly named after men compared to few named after women. So it's kind of very evident in our society in more overt and covert ways. And the reason why this still exists, even though we've made great progress, is because we've kind of all been under the notion that this is natural. Like, this is how it is, it's a hierarchy, there's not much we can do about it, we can try, but this is the way the order of the world is supposed to be. And I read an amazing book when I was prepping to teach sociology here. It's called Erased by Anna Malika Tubbs. It's called What American Patriarchy Has Hidden from Us. And she's very credible. She has a bachelor's in anthropology, a master's in gender studies, and a PhD in sociology. And she argues, actually, for you to believe this is natural and it's the right way for the world to be, we've had to actually erase women from history, because if you actually really studied women, if someone was telling that women aren't capable, you would have mountains of evidence to go against that. So in her book, she talks about it's intentional. Our founding fathers wanted this system. They wanted the few to succeed, and that's usually really wealthy white men. Like, I always make the joke, kind of poli-sci joke, that if a woman became president, would she technically have to follow the Constitution, because it says he shall hold office. That's a funny political science joke, guys. Come on, right? Right? The hypocrisy of our Constitution, that all men are created equal, liberty and justice for all, did not actually mean for all. It meant for not even just men, particularly white men, and men of high status, right? You had to have money in the beginning of our country to even vote if you were a man. It definitely did not include women, and it definitely did not include the enslaved African Americans that we stole from Africa. And there are kind of two reasons society uses to make you think this is natural and it's the right way to be. They use fake biological evidence and this belief that women just have never contributed anything. And you can believe that because they've been erased. If you open a textbook, you're probably not going to find a woman in there. You probably don't know that Aristotle was taught by a woman. So I'm going to give you kind of my ways to debunk those myths this morning. Not that I need biology to prove to me that women are more than capable of leadership, being raised by women, working with women. But actually, a study was done by the National Library of Medicine where they studied about 46,000 brain scans of men and women, and they found that women have high activity in their frontal lobes, which is key for decision-making, which leads to better empathy, intuition, collaboration, self-control, and appropriate worrying about situations. And because we don't know a lot of stories about women in history, we don't know that they've actually contributed so much to this country specifically. Sacagawea, who you might know, she has a character in Night at the Museum. That's how I learned about her as a kid. One, there's kind of a myth about her. If you ever see a portrait of her, she looks much older. She was actually about 15 years old when she became pregnant and had to show Lewis and Clark and the rest of the Europeans that had arrived here the West. And she's actually the reason why we had a lot of westward expansion. And she did this while giving birth on the trip and carrying the baby on her back at about 15 years old. Actually, fun fact about her, when they were going to build Mount Rushmore, they wanted it to be of Sacagawea and Lewis and Clark. And the creator at the time was told that that was not American enough to have her up there. And also the Lakota tribe, which is a tribe, there's about 70,000 people in the Lakota tribe in the US right now. The men actually wear their hair in 2 braids as an honor to women that they believe are the closest thing to God because of their ability to create life. And we do not see in our country a lot of indigenous representation, and their tribes throughout history had women as chiefs. Women were very much involved in leadership in those tribes. This is a movie maybe some of you have seen. It's called Hidden Figures. Katherine Johnson, Dorothy Vaughan, and Mary Jackson were key in the space race in NASA when the US was really pushing, competing with other countries to get people into space. They were a really big deal. I highly recommend this movie. It's very, very well done. Who's played Monopoly in here? Raise your hand if you played Monopoly. I'm sorry for the relationships you probably lost while playing Monopoly. But Monopoly was actually created by a woman, Elizabeth Maggie. She was a progressive in the 1920s, and she actually created Monopoly as a warning of capitalism and the greed that can come with it. And her game was stolen by Charles Darrow, and he sold it and made quite a bit of money off of it without her getting a lot of the money or the credit. Now, I only have a few minutes up here, so I cannot go into every woman that has contributed to history, but I promise you, it is extremely deep. Women have done so much in society, usually without a lot of recognition for it. And that's why we have Women's History Month, because in our everyday lives, in our history classes, we don't really see the women's side of the narrative. Women fought in the American Revolution. Women have written letters, fought for liberty, have been part of philosophy and politics for the longest time, but they haven't really gotten that recognition. So what I want to end with, I want to talk to wherever you fall in this group. First, I want to start with my female colleagues. Thank you. You're all so amazing. You inspire me every day to be a leader, to be kind, to work hard, and to do everything I can to make the society a better place. And I know a lot of you don't always get a lot of the credit that you deserve, and I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, and especially Denise Scavito. Shout out Denise Scavito, the only other woman I teach with in the history department, has set an amazing example for me working here. To the young women in this room, you are amazing. Like, you are so amazing. You are so smart. I love working with you. You inspire me. Hearing your accomplishments up on Chapel every week makes me so happy. You're gonna face challenges in your life. Your ideas might be stolen. You might be told you're too loud. Negotiate your contracts, you might get paid less. And just know in that, please work with each other. There's a lot of media, a lot of narratives out there that women should be competitive with one another. You're on the same team, you're fighting the same monster. So please work together and don't get mad at each other, you are on the same team. And most importantly today, I really want to talk to the young men in this room. I think there's a lot of things on social media right now that the struggles that men are having, which are very real, are being blamed on women. And I'm telling you from someone that has studied this for the last few years, it's patriarchy that you should be upset with. Men are also set up to fail in patriarchy unless you are very successful, wealthy, and white. Men are not allowed to express emotion. They're told they should be angry. Men are not allowed to, men are sent to war. Men struggle because they are put in this box of you need to make money, be powerful, and if you can't fit that mold, you're excluded from that narrative, right? So it's not women that are causing that problem. Women are actually trying to help that problem. It's the patriarchy. It's isolating you, and it's giving you a narrative, and please, when you see that online, don't buy into it. It is being pushed. This has happened throughout history. When things start to go bad economically, women are usually blamed, or any minority is usually blamed for that problem. When it is not the women that are causing that, it is the extreme wealth and power in this country. So I encourage you in March deep dive into it in your history classes. Ask about women's contribution. If you're being given a male narrative, ask if there's another side to it. Talk to the girls in your classes. They have amazing things to say. Work together. Our society, if men and women came together to build a better life, I stay up at night dreaming of what it could look like, right? So happy March. Please celebrate the women in your lives. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Ms. Beck. You're pretty incredible yourself. Thank you so much for that. I've already heard from a member of Ms. Beck's class sharing with me that statistic about how many portraits of men we have compared to how many portraits of women, and that is very motivating. I promise I'm not going to put my face all over the place, but there's certainly some opportunities that we can grasp. All right, everyone. So there are a lot of serious things going on in the world, and tomorrow, Mr. Arain is going to talk about the war in Iran and give us some context and information about that, just so you know that that is coming. Thank you in advance to all those faculty who are helping us to understand our world better. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow. Faculty.